Maria Sharapova walked onto the Bloomberg Live stage and named the exact structural failure that the Women's Tennis Association has been quietly hiding. And Alex Eala, ranked number 31 in the world, is living proof that Sharapova was right. This isn't about drama. This is the story of how one player from Quezon City, Philippines, forced the most powerful institution in women's tennis to confront what it had been failing to do for years, and why a five-time Grand Slam champion stood up and said what tour officials refused to acknowledge.
So I remember attending the first round of her match, which was a tough match at the US Open, and then I went back home, and then I was contemplating coming back, and I wanted to witness her win, because I think she has such an amazing head on her shoulders, and the game, and I think she has a voice and a platform that's going to, transcend.
At a Bloomberg Live event in October 2025, Maria Sharapova delivered a critique that sent alarm bells ringing through WTA headquarters. Sharapova, a former world #1 and a five-time Grand Slam champion, someone who understands institutional power from both sides of it, stated plainly that sports fans are often completely disengaged from women's tennis outside the 4 Grand Slams. Sharapova used Coco Gauff as her centerpiece example. She pointed out that while 99% of the US Open audience knew Gauff's name, very few knew where Gauff was playing the following week. That single statistic, 99% awareness with near-zero follow-through, exposed the architecture of the WTA's marketing failure. But Sharapova didn't stop there. She turned to the financial reality that most commentary avoids. The WTA had celebrated equal prize money at Grand Slams, and yes, that's significant. But Sharapova pointed directly at what exists beneath that headline. At a women's tournament in China, not a minor club event, but a legitimate
and let me tell you, this isn't just another tennis event. This is a statement, a massive statement about respect, popularity, and the power of the people. Let's start from the beginning. When Alex Eala came to Australia for the Australian Open, something extraordinary happened. Thousands upon thousands of Filipino fans flocked to see their tennis hero. The scenes were incredible. Filipinos were everywhere, waving. This wasn't a WTA decision. This wasn't a tournament organizer's choice. This was the president of Australia make mention to give the
Their victories are so special, but if you treat them too high, and you treat the tough moments as a really big low in your career, it's hard to find that happy medium, and I think that's what that sweet spot is.
To understand why Sharapova's words carry weight, specifically in the context of Alex Eala, you have to look at the timeline carefully. In 2011, a 5-year-old girl in the Philippines watched Maria Sharapova, then the world #2, on television, and identified Sharapova's commanding presence and fierce ground strokes as the North Star for how she would one day play the game. That child was Alexandra Eala, born May 23, 2005, in Quezon City. Eala didn't come from a casual sports family. Eala's mother, Maria Sharapova, had secured a bronze medal in the 100-meter backstroke at the 1985 Southeast Asian Games. Eala's brother, Nico Eala, trained alongside Alexandra at the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain. Elite athletic discipline wasn't aspirational in that household. It was structural. At age 13 in 2018, Alexandra Eala relocated to the Rafael Nadal Academy, not as a visitor to elite training, but as a product of it. That same year, Eala won the prestigious Les Petits tournament, defeating in the final a player named Linda Noskova, a name that would reappear years later in a far more consequential
this isn't just another tennis event. This is a statement, a massive statement about respect, popularity, and the power of the people. Let's start from the beginning. When Alex Eala came to Australia for the Australian Open, something extraordinary happened.
Becoming the first Filipino in history to win a junior Grand Slam singles title. The child who had watched Sharapova on a television screen had become the most decorated junior player her country had ever produced. But what happened next is what Sharapova was actually talking about at Bloomberg Live.
Sport is not just tennis, it's fashion, it's art, it's culture, it's having a platform, and I think she does brilliantly of merging all of those together. Their victories are so special, but if you treat them too high, and you treat the tough moments as a really big low in your career, it's hard to find that happy medium, and I think that's what that sweet spot is.
In March 2025, Alexandra Eala entered the Miami Open, a WTA 1000 event, one of the most competitive stops on the entire calendar as a wild card. Eala's ranking at the time was number 140. That number matters because what followed had never been done before in the Open era. In the round of 64, Eala defeated Jelena Ostapenko, a Grand Slam champion, in straight sets. In the round of 32, Eala defeated Madison Keys, a Grand Slam finalist, also in straight sets. Then in the round of 16, Eala defeated Iga Swiatek, the world number 2 and multiple Grand Slam champion,
absolutely
again in
rocked
straight
it.
Sets.
The fans went wild. The atmosphere was incredible. And Alex Eala delivered exactly what everyone came to see, and that infectious smile that has captured hearts around the world.
The run ended in the semifinals against Jessica Pegula, but by then the ranking impact was already irreversible. Eala climbed from number 140 to a peak of number 75 by the tournament's end. By the close of the 2025 season, Eala had reached number 50, posted a 68.4% win rate, and recorded 4 victories over players ranked inside the top 20. Here's what mainstream coverage consistently missed. The Miami run wasn't a surprise. It was the inevitable outcome of a player whose entire developmental foundation, the Rafael Nadal Academy model, Coach Joan Bosch, and a left-handed two-handed backhand game, had been building toward exactly this level. What was surprising wasn't Eala. What was surprising was that the WTA's promotional machinery had no real mechanism to amplify what had just happened, not to the fan base that was already generating 15 to 20% engagement rates on Instagram, far above the WTA's own average.
There's any current players or past players on the women's side that you particularly looked up to in terms of your game style, like you wanting to kind of emulate them on the court?
Definitely. Growing up, my absolute favorite was Maria Sharapova. I guess I loved.
The 2026 season removed any remaining ambiguity about where Alexandra Eala stands in this sport. At the Auckland ASB Classic in January 2026,
match in Melbourne.
Eala reached
and let me
the
tell you,
semifinals
this
in both
isn't just
singles
another
and doubles.
tennis event.
Eala
This
beat
is
Petra
a
Martin
statement,
6-0,
a massive
6-2,
statement about
then
respect,
followed that with a
popularity,
6-3,
and the power
6-2
of the
win
people.
over fifth-seeded
Let's start
Magda
from the
Linette
beginning.
before falling
When
to
Alex Eala
seventh-seeded
came to
Wang Xinyu
Australia
in
for
3
the
sets.
Australian Open,
Then came
something
Dubai.
extraordinary
At the Dubai
happened.
Tennis Championship
Thousands
in
upon
February
thousands of
2026,
Filipino fans
Eala
flocked
arrived
to see
ranked
their
number
tennis hero.
47.
The
In
scenes
round
were
of 32,
incredible. Filipinos
Eala
were
faced world
everywhere,
number 8
waving.
Jasmine
This
Paolini
wasn't a WTA
at 5-6
decision.
in the second
This
set.
wasn't a tournament
Paolini had
organizer's
2 set
choice.
points.
This
Eala
was the
erased
president
both.
of Australia
Then Eala converted on the 5th match point, winning 6-1, 7-6, 5. That victory made Alexandra Eala, at 20 years and 168 days, the youngest Asian player in history to record top 10 wins at multiple WTA 1000 events. The record that fell belonged to Naomi Osaka. By February 23, 2026, Alexandra Eala's ranking had reached a career high of number 31.
She's someone I get along very well with on and off the court. Again, another physical battle, but obviously against an opponent that was, playing on a high level. So I'm glad to overcome it. I was really blown away by how inspired she was. I mean, I was blown away by watching a great athlete.
What Sharapova was saying at Bloomberg Live wasn't simply about prize money. Sharapova was describing a structural gap between the WTA's promotional resources and the genuine market demand being generated by players like Alexandra Eala. The numbers confirm this in ways tour officials can't dismiss. In the United Arab Emirates, Filipinos make up nearly 10% of the total population. Eala's matches in Abu Dhabi and Dubai consistently drew larger crowds than those featuring top 10 players. Tournament directors on the circuit began reaching for the only comparison that seemed to fit: Manny Pacquiao at the peak of his global influence. That's the category of crowd pull Eala generates. And on Instagram, her fanbase produces engagement rates of 15 to 20% compared to the WTA's own average. Eala isn't simply a rising tennis player. Eala is, as verified data shows, unlocking Southeast Asia in a way no WTA player before her has.
Was playing
Not
the following
even Li Na,
week.
who pioneered the Chinese market, and not Naomi Osaka's global trajectory. What Eala is doing for the Philippines and the broader region is something the tour has never encountered quite like this before. And that's exactly where the biggest revelation lands. Coco Gauff, world number 4, the very player Sharapova used as the central example of a missed promotional opportunity, publicly thanked Alexandra Eala for bringing a new demographic to the sport. Let that sit for a moment. The WTA's most marketable active asset acknowledged that Eala's fan infrastructure is adding something to the sport that the WTA's own promotional engine didn't create and can't replicate. The institution that Sharapova criticized at Bloomberg Live is simultaneously benefiting from the market energy it has structurally failed to support. The Indian Wells Open in March 2026 made this paradox
had secured a bronze medal in the
100-meter
backstroke
52 Diana
at the
Yastremska in a grueling 2-hour and 43-minute contest. Eala advanced when world number 4 Gauff retired due to an arm and shoulder injury, with Eala leading 6-2, 2-0. Then in the round of 16,
this isn't just another tennis event. This is a statement, a massive statement about respect, popularity, and the power of the people. Let's start from the beginning. When Alex Eala came to Australia for the Australian Open, something extraordinary happened.
The controversy that viral channels labeled WTA in shock, dressed up with debunked claims about rigged matches and fabricated contracts, is really pointing at something real. When Eala loses, engagement drops in ways that expose precisely what Sharapova described. The $120,000 prize check in China and the WTA's fragmented calendar are not abstract policy failures. They are the reason why a player with Pacquiao-level crowd pull in the UAE earns $15,720 at Indian Wells, bringing her 2026 earnings to roughly $397,712, while the institution benefiting from Eala's market pull still hasn't built the structural support Sharapova is demanding. As of late March 2026, Alexandra Eala is ranked number 32. Eala is the highest-ranked Southeast Asian player in WTA history, having surpassed Thailand's Maninkaya Sawanki. Career prize money stands at $1,761,397.
The fans went wild. The atmosphere was incredible. And Alex Eala delivered exactly what everyone came to see, and that infectious smile that has captured hearts around the world.
With a prize pool of $126 for 46. Maria Sharapova continues to speak. The Bloomberg Live critique didn't end at that stage. Sharapova's comments about marketing failures within the WTA are still, by all verified accounts, setting alarm bells ringing for tour officials. The 5-year-old who watched Sharapova on a television screen in Quezon City is now 20 years old. Eala has broken Naomi Osaka's record. Eala draws crowds compared to Manny Pacquiao. Eala earned the public gratitude of Coco Gauff. And Alexandra Eala has forced the most powerful institution in women's tennis to confront its own
massive statement
failures.
About respect,
Whether that
popularity,
is ready
and
to
the
admit
power
it or
of the
not,
people.
There's one question.
Let's start from the beginning.
No viral channel,
when Alex
no
Eala
WTA
came to
press
Australianizers'
release,
choice,
and no Bloomberg Live stage
this was the
has
president
answered
of Australia.
When Alexandra Eala cracks the top 10, and the verified trajectory of this career says that moment is coming, will the WTA have actually built the infrastructure to capture what Eala unlocks? Or will the institution still be pointing to a $120,000 prize check in China, while an entire generation of Southeast Asian tennis fans watches on platforms it still hasn't learned to reach?